Welcome back. You know that King 5 is the only Seattle TV station to broadcast the fireworks at the Space Needle? Now, this year's New Year's at the Needle was a groundbreaking event with fireworks and augmented reality. If you saw it, it was super cool. But several viewers took issue with a throwback video just before the fireworks started. New Year's at the Needle co-host Angela Poe Russell is here to share her thoughts. I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, I have lots of them. You know, one thing I have learned in my, 25 plus years in television, you cannot please everybody. But I do believe we should always listen to constructive feedback. And this week, we did hear concerns about us airing Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back. The stage performance was mixed in with clips from his music video celebrating that 2022 would mark the 30-year anniversary of the song. But the criticism came quick. One woman called the song sexist, another an objectifying, cringe-inducing artifact. Ouch. My own daughter texted me during the show with similar concerns. You know, for sure, some things in life just don't age well. I mean, I'll never forget when I decided to share a movie that I watched as a kid with my own girls. It was the Bad News Bears. Remember that? This hilarious baseball team I remembered as a child didn't come off as funny to me 20 years later. There were racial slurs, kids cursing, underage drinking. I mean, I could go on. That movie would not fly today, not as like a PG or PG-13, and neither would an animated skunk who won't take no for an answer. So is Baby Got Back just too much for a more enlightened 2022? Well, the truth is, it was too much for some folks back in 1992. MTV briefly banned the video, only to later reverse course, partly because the women he was allegedly objectifying saw the issue differently. You see, if we go back in time before Meghan Trainor was all about that bass, this was the first song in recent memory to celebrate a curvier type of body. If you look at magazine covers from the 90s, Vogue, Cosmopolitan, thin was in. Mix specifically told MTV the song was pushback to the constant bombardment of women and girls by images of super thin models in media. Even the woman who voiced the opening, Amelia Dorsey Rivas, expressed the same sentiment to Evening's Jim Dever and was quoted 30 years ago as saying, "There's not one thing degrading about that song to anyone who felt like me." So I shared with my own daughter that sentiment and my own, that through that song for the first time, a different type of body was seen as desired, as attractive. 30 years after that song, I think it's okay to appreciate its place in history and acknowledge how we have evolved. We see change reflected in the industry with women themselves celebrating their bodies, from Meghan Trainor to Beyonce to Lizzo. It is hard to say if another song like Baby's Got Back from a male performer would take off, but no, there are a lot of women who are so glad that one did.
I hear, I have to say. So I'm going to share my opinion if I may, and
Yes.
I don't know if it's that going to be popular, but for years, Baby Got Back was kind of an anthem for me. Because let me tell you, growing up in the 90s, who was hot? Who was popular? Kate Moss. She was like 110 soaking wet, right?
Right.
And I knew even at like 12 or 13 that I was never going to be this waif-like figure. So when the curvier bodies were celebrated, I was like, yes, finally. And when that song would come on, I would get out there. I'll show you. You guys want to? No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to show you.
Till 11 o'clock.
But I did appreciate it because of that sentiment.
Yeah.
Going back and hearing it now, yeah, I can see why your daughter texted you. How did you react like when you first got that text? And you're live on the air.
I was kind of shocked by it, but then I realized I'm like, out of context. You would definitely take it that way.
Yeah.
But so once I explained to her what was going on at that time, she's like, okay, I get it. I still don't agree, but I get where it was coming from. And you know, it's so funny when you mention how you felt and how it was an anthem for you. I remember going through the mall and going to every single store as a teenager and not finding one thing that would fit
nothing
my body.
that fit me. I didn't wear jeans for years because no jeans fit.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, look, there was another aspect to this critique.
Right.
And it was the timing of it. You have kids, there were kids watching.
Yes.
And so it's one thing to explain all of this to a 16-year-old, but you had young kids.
So my 8-year-old was watching with us, and she said, "Mom, is he singing about booties?" And yes, Lucia, Yes, he is. And I think maybe some of the concerns maybe were of the video. But here's the thing about the video. The whole reason, by the way, that we showed this, that we were celebrating this, is because it's the 30th anniversary of this song.
In 2022.
In 2022, Mix is local. So, I mean, I explained all of it to her and said, this is why, yes, things are different, but I kind of gave her the same sentiment of be proud of your body. This is what it's celebrating. Not everyone is built alike. And before this, I mean, I didn't go like started showing her pictures of Kate Moss, but I mean, I did. I talked about it.
I do. Do you hear where people are coming from, though, in terms of some folks express that it's like the bar has moved in terms of what's okay to show and when?
Totally.
I mean, I've watched network television at 8 o'clock, and I have heard some words I would never want my kids to repeat.
Yes.
Do you feel that way, or do you see it differently?
I feel like there's a really fine line. I think our society is changing so quickly on so many levels that it's important to listen to all these.
Yes.
There is no right or wrong. That's the thing, is that it's an open discussion, and that's what it needs to continue to be.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're talking about is kind of that line on like what is okay and what isn't, and what's our responsibility as an organization and a television outlet to monitor that.
Well said. And I think what people should know is that we are listening and taking all of that in, and you know how we produce our content, it matters to us, and how you receive it, and that it's meaningful for people in their lives. So, yeah.
Do you think there's value in stopping, I mean, and just on an overall note of how we kind of share stuff all the time and how things affect it, do you think there's value of stopping and thinking before you share your opinion and maybe kind of processing it?
I'm horrible at it, but I think it's really important to have that moment of stop, think before you post. It's funny, I just had that conversation with my daughter, my younger daughter, yesterday about because the thing is, I think I don't know if you've ever read the 4 Agreements, but never making assumptions and assuming that good intent. And so even when we do offer feedback, being able to approach it in a way that's like, hey, I'm assuming you're coming from a good place, and here's where I'm coming from, which is also a good place.
That's awesome. I love that. Assume that everyone's coming at good intent.
Yeah, and not making the assumption that we're,
And just like the good intent of sharing a song that's been around for 30 years that changed a lot of people's perceptions about the female body in positive ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
And I appreciate you giving us this platform to be able to have this discussion.
Absolutely. And actually, I loved the show. I don't know if y'all watched it, but you should have. It was fantastic. Everything was fun. Hopefully I can join you next year.
Speaking of all the opinions, though, well, folks had opinions on the fireworks, but I hope the majority of folks loved it.
They were beautiful.
I certainly did. Yeah.
They were beautiful. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well,